On any mountain bike with a suspension fork or rear shock, sag should be set to ensure the bike performs at its best. Sag is how much the suspension sinks into its own travel when the rider puts their weight on the bike. For example, if you're a big guy, you don't want to use all the suspension travel while simply sitting on the bike. So it's important to have some preload in the suspension to ensure you still have plenty of travel left in the suspension when you start to go over the bumps. If you have too much sag, your bike will feel lazy and bottom out too often. Too little sag and you lose traction as the wheel skips over the bumps and does not follow the contours of the trail. Check your suspension manual for the amount of sag required. Typically, it's about 25%. What that means is that you're using 1/4 of the suspension travel whilst you're stationary on the bike. To calculate how much the suspension has sunk, you need a tape measure and a calculator. Sometimes the percentages are listed on the fork stanchion. Start by measuring the suspension's full stroke. In this case, we have 51 millimeters worth of shock stroke travel. 25% of 51 millimeters is 13 millimeters. This means that once you are stationary on your bike, your suspension should sink 13 millimeters into its travel. You can then set this either by adjusting the air pressure or by the spring preload if it's a coil sprung fork. To do this, put all your riding gear on, including any filled water bottles and camelbacks. Get on the bike and into the attack position. This is the best position because this is the position you're most likely to be when approaching obstacles. Let the suspension settle. Then use the rubber O-ring device and place it at the bottom of the stanchion tube where it meets the lowers. You can use a zip tie if there isn't a rubber O-ring. Then gently get off the bike, taking care not to bounce. You should be able to see and measure the distance the suspension has traveled. This is the sag. Go ahead and adjust the pressure or preload until you get this accurate. Not all suspension forks or shocks have rebound adjustment. If it does, it is worthwhile setting it before your first ride. Rebound controls how fast the suspension will go back to the original position after being compressed. A faster rebound allows the tyre to follow the contours of the trail quickly, but can also bounce you off the bike very quickly after landing a big jump. It can be more uncomfortable too, as it doesn't allow you to use all the suspension travel. If the rebound is too slow, you're likely to bottom out, and this can also reduce traction as the wheel doesn't rebound fast enough to follow the small bumps in the trail. Always start with the rebound dial in the middle. Try increase and decrease and see how they affect your riding, ensuring you keep your balance between the front and the rear of the bike.